What's up, wonderful, amazing, sweet, and lovely people? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day today. And I hope you're not letting anybody steal your joy. Welcome to my Straight for Life. Today is a beautiful day. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate every one of you so much. You guys are awesome. So, today's video, I wanted to explain something a little further that I talked about in my last live broadcast. I want to thank you guys for, first of all, liking my Facebook page. I appreciate you so much. You guys are awesome. It is my intention to start posting exclusive content on here. So whenever you don't see me on YouTube, you're going to get a notification that I have posted something on my page. So then you watch, you just keep up with me and follow up with whatever I'm talking about, the story, the topic on here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all very much. You guys are awesome. And the light is shining so bright in my face. Anyways, you guys, so part of the video I was talking about, the things I was talking about in the past video about my experiences with the pastors who recently, who got paid by YouTube media. Not, this YouTube media are just people who like to gossip, a bunch of gossips who just like to, they just want to tear people down and put people down. And, I don't care about that type of stuff, but I have been a person of interest for these people for a long time, and they came at me. And the pastor that I used to call my pastor, this church I used to go to, I used to call them family. He also united with my enemies to try to come at me and attack me for no reason. And I was going through a lot of stuff in my life, like you guys already know. But everything led me to find out more about who God is and how God works. This was February 4th, was it 4th? It was around February 4th, 2019 was when this happened. We had just moved into our new place. Then me and Hannah were still together with the kids, my babies and everything. We had just moved into this new place. It was a nice house and we really liked it. And usually when I move into a new place, I always get a pastor to come in and bless it. Just get somebody to bless it. I need somebody, a pastor, to come and bless my house. But now I realize that I can bless my house myself. I don't need to go get somebody else to come do it. Anyways, we had talked about it, and this pastor, he came straight from seminary school with a woman. He's married and he has kids, but he brought a woman rode with him that he goes to seminary school with. And they came and blessed the house, and the woman was talking. We introduced ourselves and she got my number. I thought, okay, well, these are people from seminary, like they're preachers. They're going to seminary school to become preachers, right? Good. Anyways, the main point that I want to stress out here is the woman happens to be married, and her husband was in Africa. And she started telling me about how her husband and her, they had been trying to have a baby, but they couldn't have a baby, and also that they had issues, and the husband's family didn't like her, and it seemed like the husband wasn't supporting his family, and there was a lot. I was like, I don't understand, why she's telling me all of this. Anyways, a few days later, this lady called me on the phone, and she was telling me that she wanted to have sex with a man if I knew somebody. I was like, are you serious? Mind you, this was a lady that the pastor brought to my house. And I was like, are you serious? Why are you asking me this? You're supposed to be married. You have a husband and you're asking me to go. What are you talking about? She was like, no. And then she started mentioning my husband, like she wanted me to give her my husband to sleep with. And I was like, okay, first of all, you're supposed to be a pastor. In fact, you're going to seminary school, right? Second of all, you're married. And third, don't ever call my phone, ever. Call my phone again to tell me this kind of stupid stuff. I'm gonna block you. I don't ever want to hear from you again. That's what I told her. I blocked her phone. I blocked her, and I immediately called the pastor who had brought her to my place. I was like, Pastor, who is that lady? That lady that you brought to my place. She had just called me asking me to go and give her a man to sleep with. And then pastor started telling me that, that lady is very dubious, that is demonic, I should block her, that he doesn't even know her that well. They only go to school together, they take a class together. He gives her a ride to her place whenever class is over, because that there is a man, a specific man that used to come pick her up. And he suspected that she was sleeping with a man And he had told her to not do it because she's married. So he started telling me a whole lot of stuff that I was not interested in hearing. I was just kind of, at that point, I was wondering, okay, if this lady would say something like that, what was truly the relationship between she and Pastor? Pastor is married. He has kids. It's Pastor I'm talking about. So Pastor told me to block her. That is demonic. He's going to warn her not to ever call me again. I was like, okay. That's it. When that incident happened, it was still on my mind. I started thinking, I was like, what kind of a pastor would have somebody like this around them and they're supposed to be seminary classmates together, and would call my phone asking me to give her a man or my husband to sleep with. And she's already married, and she's supposed to be a pastor. And I'm not a pastor. I'm just a child of God. But when I see wrong, I know it. And I don't want to be a part of wrong. That got me thinking about a lot of stuff. And then throughout this whole process, the pastor would be coming to my place. I was still pondering and asking God what was going on. And then I was going through a lot of stuff at that moment too. And I needed somebody to talk to, somebody who was a believer. But I didn't know that the people who were around me were actually snakes. They were not true believers. They're not even good people. Fast forward to 2020, when things started going on between me and Hunter. Anyways, a lot of things transpired. And then when the haters came after me, the pastor himself too came at me. Started saying some things because he really wanted to bring me down. I felt like it was the plan of the enemies to really attack me on every side so that I would feel like I'm losing my mind. So that everything, it would just be against me. And at this point, what could you do? When everything you believed in are the people you thought that were Christians, that would stand by you, and who supposedly hear from God and prophesy, they turn out to be devils. You know me, I started evaluating my life, and I looked at their lives and my life, and I was like, okay, this pastor doesn't really have anything that I want in my life, but he happens to be a pastor. So there's this sense of, oh, he's a pastor, so you may need somebody like that. But then I realized that God is not dumb, and he's not an author of confusion. But I was still conflicted. I wanted a clear answer for the questions that I had about them and all the things that I had noticed about them. And the answer finally came when the pastor interviewed with one of the YouTube gossip pages and said all kinds of negative things about me, lied about me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the answer I always wanted. Like, I already had a feeling in my heart because I serve God. God speaks to me. God was telling me some things, but because I was not used to hearing that type of guidance, I was used to asking for guidance from pastors. God was telling me a lot of things, speaking to me, but I was not paying attention. I was aware of it, but I was not adhering to it until it really beat me in the butt hard. The same people came at me and attacked me, the same pastors. They came at me so hard and wanted to really break my spirit down. But one thing they didn't realize is that even while I was calling them for counseling and talking and everything, I was still praying on my own and calling on God and asking God questions on my own. So the essence for these videos that I'm going to be pouring out to you guys is that don't ever seek counsel from outside source before seeking counsel from within. You have to ask yourself questions. What do I want? What does God want for me? When you begin to ask these questions and you pray to God, because God is with you, God is in you, and God is for you. God is not more with other people than he is with you. And there is nothing God could reveal to you through others that he doesn't first tell you. I was ignorant of a lot of things. But one thing that I was not ignorant about was my heart towards God and my desire to truly know God and have him speak to me. If he could speak to these people and they'll be telling me prophecies that never happened, lies. Oh, God said he's going to do this, bring this person into your life, or bless you with this business on the 21st of February 2019, or blah, blah, blah. I would wait. In fact, it would be as though I'm going to fast and pray and wait for that day and just make sure that I'm ready, writing it down and praying and everything. That day would come and pass and nothing would happen. Many times like that it happened, but it didn't dawn on me at that point that I was under a very strong spell of manipulation. But I'm giving glory to God now because God truly does speak. He does. And God is a God of love. It's not a God of doom. These people, they fed me a lot of lies and fear. And anytime anybody can get you afraid of something, then they begin to control you. Fear is a control device that the enemy uses. If they can get you afraid of something, then they can control you and try to control your behaviors around certain things and manipulate you and just move you to and fro anywhere they want to move you. Guard your space. Guard your mind. Guard yourself. Be very careful around certain pastors. Not everyone. There are great pastors out there. Amazing pastors who truly do the work of God. But then there's a lot of fake people who use diabolical means, mind games to try to put people down. And I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I was observing everything that was going on. It was affecting me. But for some people, the things that have happened to me and the intention of the enemy, which is to kill, to steal, and to destroy, I would have been destroyed. I would have been broken. I would have been killed. Because you guys, if you watch my videos, you see how I have documented my journey. I had lost a lot of weight, and I was crying to God and praying. But these people were really causing a lot of stir. They thought that they were going to silence me. But one thing I've never been afraid of is speaking my voice. I've never been afraid of speaking my voice, opening up and talking about stuff, because I'm not ashamed of nothing. Places where I have made mistakes, I accept my mistakes and then I move on, because I'm not my mistakes. That's part of the journey. But what the enemy doesn't understand is that God is faithful and merciful. For those who truly cry out to God and who believe that this is not the end for me. It doesn't matter how many people are roaring. It doesn't matter how many are my enemies. Greater is he who is in me, with me, and for me than he who is against me. I'm going to rise again. I am more than a conqueror. When you believe with your heart and begin to speak what you believe, it doesn't matter whether or not your current circumstance doesn't really agree with what you believe and what you're trusting God for. It does not matter. If you stay with it and you keep speaking what you believe and you focus on it, and just know that since the spirit controls the physical, whatever you believe, whatever you speak, you affirm, will definitely burst forth, and everything else that was not what you wanted will be cleared out of your scene. And you will see clearly that although sometimes you see yourself as one little bitty old me, but you are not one little bitty old me. The army of angels around you are greater than what you could ever imagine or dream of or even think about. God has done so much for me. And this is because my heart, whatever you do, make sure your heart is right before God. You can hide your intentions from people, but you cannot hide from God. If you can just pour out your heart to God in your secret place, God will answer you and he will fight for you. God searches the heart. Humans look at the physical, but God searches the heart. Make your heart right with him. Let your heart be right before God. The reason why all of these pastors connived and came together and lied after they had planned, you know what I mean, to really hurt me. They thought that if they came at me everywhere, because I was in a vulnerable situation with my husband telling me he wanted a divorce, and of course me, all of my businesses and everything, I had lost everything. At that point, most people would break down and lose it completely. That's what they wanted. They wanted to hit the final straw that would make me lose it completely. But my God only knows how to triumph. And all I have seen is the glory of God manifested in my life. And I want you to know that God is for you. I don't know what your situation may be at the moment, but I want you to trust in the Lord, because the God who brought me out of the pit of the miry clay and set me up on the rock and is still lifting me up, he will do the same for you. And I pray for you today that the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord keeps your mind. If you allow the wrong things get in your mind, then your life will be controlled by that thing. Purify your mind. Ask the Lord to purify your mind today and take over your mind. Because God is in control. He has not given you the spirit of fear, He has not given you the spirit of timidity, but the spirit of power, of love, and a sound mind. So anything that comes around you that tries to make you afraid, that's not of God. Any church you go to, pastors you're around who only tell you things that make you afraid, you should be far away from those people. Because if somebody can get you afraid, they will control your life. And you will lose control of your life. Fear is a negative emotion. And God is love. He's not the author of fear or confusion. God is power. Keep all out of your space that bring fear and doubt and negativity into your world. Okay? That's what I'm doing consciously. That's why I'm voicing, I'm telling you guys my story, because I want you to know that the power is already in your hands, your mind. Don't give people access into your mind. Believe God for big things and great things. Don't allow whatever your current circumstance or situation may be fill your mind. Okay? God loves you, and I love you, and I'm very happy to be sharing with you, okay? Stay blessed. I'll be praying for you. Bye.